Hi, everybody. My name is Marc-Andre Pelletier. I'm president and CEO of Bonterra Resources. Bonterra is a junior gold exploration company. We're located in Canada, in Quebec, north of Quebec, in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt. And what makes really Bonterra apart is we have a very large resources, over 3 million ounces of gold. But we do have infrastructures like a mill and mining camps.
Right. Well, okay. Marc-Andre, first of all, good to see you. It's been a while since we spoke. I think you spoke with Merlin last month. I wanted to pick up on something that you put out in a press release, because I want to understand what you think it means or could mean for you guys, which is basically the Osisko Mining joint venture agreement with Goldfields on the Windfall gold project. Okay. Now you're slap bang in the middle of that district. So why did you put out the press release? What did you want to kind of signal, and what does it mean for you?
Good question. There was a big announcement last week that we believe will have a significant impact on Bonterra Resources. Osisko Mining partners with a major gold producer named Goldfields. I think it's the number 6 gold producer in the world, to develop the Windfall project located basically 15 kilometers away of our land packages. The partnership between Osisko and Goldfield is a 50-50 joint venture to build the Windfall mine, but it's also a 50-50 interest in the highly prospective urban berry camp where we are located. So it's $1.2 billion Canadian that is coming in just right next to our land package. Our land package in the urban berry camp is 22,000 hectares. Osisko, north and south, is about 90,000 hectares. So we're about 20% of the total urban berry camp. We own 20% of it. And we have 2 major projects there, the Berry Deposit and the Gladiator, which contains nearly close to 3 million ounces of gold. We're very excited about that announcement because, Matthew, I've been in on that chair for about over a year now, and we've been marketing about Bonterra. We're in Tier 1 jurisdiction in Quebec. We are in the high rock, the Abitibi Greenstone Belt, high-grade gold, and we are in a very highly prospective land package, which is the urban berry camp, which contains 10 million ounces of gold with the combination of Osisko assets. It is really good to see a major gold company. If you look at their press release, they're basically saying the same thing that we've been saying for a long time. It's a recognition by a major gold producer that we have a very great asset in a very safe jurisdiction.
You do. But here's what I'm trying to work out. Here's what I'm trying to work out as a kind of retail investor in terms of how do I interpret this? Yes, it's a validation of the district that you're in. That's because that's a lot of money that they're kind of committing to on a big project, which you sit right in the middle of. You've been banging out good grades yourself, some super high grade numbers coming out in terms of your press releases, which is brilliant. But on this deal, one, yes, it puts the area on the map, as it were. But what does it mean for you as a company? Because there's a couple of ways you can play this. You can say, well, obviously we're a kind of takeout candidate at some point, but you're not in control of that timing. Obviously, there's some kind of there's a lot of money going into the infrastructure in the district, which you potentially may be able to take advantage of, and obviously there's a value to that as well. And I think, obviously you may, want to kind of build this project yourself, in which case are there going to be, do you have the ability to actually kind of truck to any mills which they may build in the future? I mean, how are you interpreting this now? and in the future? And what should we retail look in and think about this deal?
We have studied the Barry deposit quite a bit this year. And something that we realized is about that project is the timing wasn't quite there yet to bring that asset into production for some reason. One is the power. It costs money to mine a deposit on generators and diesel. We capture that. We think if we could get access to hydroelectric power, we could reduce our operating cost by 10-15%. The distance from the Barry project to the Bonterra mill is 110 kilometers. The distance from Barry to the future Windfall mill is about 40 kilometers. So when you talk about the infrastructure, those infrastructures are coming in. They're going to be real in the next 2 years. Power is coming in next year. The Windfall mill 2025, but we could benefit. The Barry project could benefit of those infrastructure and would become economical at current price of gold. We do know that. So that's really the upside of that investment. The other thing is Goldfields make it very clear that they're coming in not only for the Windfall deposit, but they be looking for multiple deposits. They are going to invest $75 million Canadian in the next 7 years to accelerate the discovery of deposits.
Okay.
If you look at the map, you see where Barry and Gladiator, those projects are quite advanced. Barry is more developed in terms of there's been some mining there. We have permitting. Those deposits are in place. When you look, Matthew, the history of the Osisko Mining, and before that was Oban, the Eagle company, they merged all those companies in 2015. We're now in 2023, 8 years after, there's a feasibility study. In 2 more years, there's going to be a mine. So it took 10 years from A to Z to bring a deposit into production. Barry, we have the mining lease. We have measured, indicated already 1.2 million ounces. In terms of development, that project is near production. It will not take 10 years to bring that deposit into production. So I think the investment will opens up, new opportunities for a company like Bonterra. We could send the ore to the mill, Windfall mill as toll milling. It's an option, and will generate savings. Another thing that is very important about Barry, and in my words, it's good rock. So it's good ore. It's non-acid generator, and it's really at the end, it's good for the environment. And the Windfall deposit is acid generator, and there could be some synergy there for tailings. When you cover your acid generator tailings with non-acid generators taking over, it would benefit the environment as well. So we see a lot of synergies. It's early days, but because we've done quite a bit of work on our project, we understand them well. We know what it will take to bring that to production. And that transaction between Goldfield and Osisko is a game changer, we believe, for the urban battery camp and our asset.
Right. So I know it's early days, right? It's very early days, and that's a new JV, and it is a validation of the urban battery camp as a whole. But like I say, you're in control of the things that you're in control of. They're going to be busy, closing that deal down and making their own plans, and you kind of got to get on with your plans too. Whether that and I guess it's a case of, clearly off the back of a very difficult period with COVID and with supply chain issues and rising cost base for miners across the board. You mentioned some of the things like energy costs, etc., and access to people, etc. Are you seeing those sort of cost base components come down now to a point where you kind of got a better sense of how you come at this project, or now with this next door neighbor here, are you thinking about, new strategies, which is just, well, I tell you what, we've done enough work now. There's enough information. We've got this 3 million ounces of total gold reserve in all categories. It's going to be interesting enough. Is that a strategy? Sit and wait for your neighbors to actually think, well, maybe we'll take a hold of that now, given the valuation of the company today, or do you have to get on with the business of drilling and expanding and exploring and kind of building those ounces and trying to obviously change increase the grade and increase the scale of the project even further? How do you come at something like this?
It's important to add weight to our project. And so, no, we're not going to just put them on standby and wait. The energy costs have been coming down a bit since we looked last year. We keep monitoring. I have discussion with the local contractors quite often on an ongoing basis to see what's going to happen. I always said that to bring those deposits into production, we need lower cost, but we do need higher price of gold. Matthew, you follow the gold market. Price of gold has been just about the $2,000 an ounce. It hit the 2040, but hasn't gone up significantly. It seems that it's a threshold that's difficult to break. So we're not quite there yet, I think, in terms of price of gold. I see more potential on a higher level. We have done some drilling to extend the Barrier deposit at depth. We published that in our last press release. We extended the zone by 150 meters down plunge, the southeast down plunge, which is the same down plunge than the Windfall deposit. Not super high grade, this is a good, nice intersection, but it's the 150 meters extension of one lenses. So we keep drilling. We took advantage of the winter to drill on the Duke property, which is a GV partnership with Osisko. So one thing I would like to mention is what Goldfields going to put money in the urban barrier camp, it could benefit our joint venture with Duke. So that's another opportunity for us, that maybe more money coming in on Duke on our side, if I can say. So we need to keep adding weight. We look how we know what it's going to take to bring those deposits into production. We have the very large resources, 1.2 million ounces. Do we need 2 or 3? Honestly, no. We have enough. We have a big resource. We need to fine-tune the plan, fine-tune the design, and hopefully with a higher price of gold and some synergies with our new neighbor, those projects will become real.